once again to my channel. So today I am going to tell you about my 34 week update, and I'm going to start first with how I'm feeling. So if you are not following, go ahead and check my prenatal care series. I am going to link it below just to follow my pregnancy journey and see if there's anything there that you could learn or use. Thank you for coming if it's your first time, and please subscribe for more videos. So how am I feeling? I am over it. I know a lot of people are like, you should be grateful that you're still pregnant. Some people wish they could carry to term and all that, and I do understand that, but it doesn't also stop the fact that I am tired. I am grateful that I'm still pregnant, but I am tired, and I just want you to know, if you are going to be pregnant, if you are pregnant, that this happens and it's normal. It's not really from a complaining perspective, but to say this is what I am going through. All right, so that's that. I just wish that it was already time, my due date or something like that. Anyway, the other thing happening in terms of my body is I have a lot of Braxton Hicks. Those are contractions, but they are called practice contractions because they are not really a sign that you are going into labor. Basically, your body is preparing and practicing labor. That's what I was told. With Isabel, I did not feel this much of a Braxton Hicks. I think I never felt Braxton Hicks with Isabel, but I was told that it was happening even though I wasn't feeling it. I don't know how that is, but yeah, I never felt it. So with this one, it kind of weirded me out, and I had to complain to my midwife, but she said if it's like more than 6 in an hour, then they will have to see, oh, what's going on. But I just have like 3 in an hour. That's average, not more than 3, maybe 2. And sometimes it comes a lot, maybe about 6 in an hour if I am walking or exercising. I don't know, a lot of people say when they start having Braxton Hicks, they move around and it stops. For me, if I am walking around, that's when it starts coming. So sometimes I do stuff to slow it down, and your midwife will show you things to do to slow it down and all that. But it's not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing because your body is getting ready. And it's nice to know that, even though it's uncomfortable, you know that something good is happening here. The other thing is I am breathless, and I think you can hear I try to speak fast, but I am breathless, and I've been breathless this whole pregnancy, I think. But it's not to a point of worrying. It's at a point where it's expected, so it's nothing to worry about. It's expected. If you are too breathless, too tired, you almost feel like you need an oxygen tank to breathe, then you need to report that. It could be a lot of reasons, maybe low iron or whatever. I'm not a doctor. Tell your midwife about it. Oh, sleepless nights. Well, with this one, it's not as bad as Isabel, and I think I can contribute the factor to magnesium, adding magnesium to my supplement, and also using the magnesium oil. I'm not sure, because days where I stop or I do not apply the oil, I feel like I wake up a lot more. But also the good thing, and what people have said, and I believe is true, is that your body is beginning to prepare you for the waking up when baby arrives. And I'm like, ooh, how wonderful God is. So it's not all bad, but if it's at a point where it's so bad, you are exhausted in the morning and all that, tell your midwife about it. One thing that helps is using the magnesium oil or lotion. Massage, let your partner massage you or somebody massage you. You can also apply yourself, and it helps a lot. Or you can take magnesium orally. Ask your midwife as well, and then go ahead and do that. It helps. Swelling. With this pregnancy, I think I am swelling more compared to Isabel, but it's not up to a point of worrying. It's to a point where it is expected because of sometimes water or just hormones and all that. So I can feel my face expanding. The camera makes me look better. If you see me in person, you can see that my face is expanding and all that. My fingers, I can't wear my ring. So I think I'm a little bit swollen in this pregnancy than with Isabel. Yeah, I think so. And then the other thing is my uterus feels like it's going to fall out. I feel so much pressure. Like, a lot of people see me and they say you're carrying high, but I feel like my baby is low. The way I feel and the way I see my belly is different, and it's probably the positioning or the way my body shape is. But this baby feels like it's gonna drop. The baby is coming out any moment, but I think it's just pregnancy. So some of the things that I do to help, because it gives me ligament pain and I feel my vagina is so painful. Sometimes I feel it's swollen, so I do certain exercises to help. But yeah, it's just it can be terrible. Sometimes when I'm walking, I'm like, I actually stopped walking a lot because I'm like, no, I don't want this baby to come now. But apparently baby is fine and nothing is going on. So that's it. This one is not that good news, but my midwife is not worried, and I've read so much about it, and I'm also trusting God, and I'm kind of like okay, but you know, I still don't feel good about it, but not too heavy on my heart. Baby is still breech, and you know, to my midwife, breech baby is another way of birthing, another normal that people don't know, and it's not a reason to sign me off to like emergency or whatever. So, and she also believes that baby will turn. She says some babies turn even on the day of labor. Some babies will turn head down and later on flip back. So for her, she doesn't think I should let this be a big deal. I should just do what she's advising me to do, talk to my baby, and everything will be good. So that's what I'm doing. All right. And at my 34 weeks appointment, oh my goodness, there was white blood cells in my urine. And the conversation went like, or the question went like, there are a couple of things that could cause this. Have you had intercourse in the last 48 hours? And I was like, and then she mentioned other stuff. And then I was like, dun, 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 dun. But you know, Doreen, come on, you are married and an adult. What is wrong with you? I was like, oh, it's probably is the ladder. And she was like, oh, that's expected, it's okay, blah blah blah. And she saw that I was shy, and then she just quickly brushed it off. But yeah, there was red blood cells in my urine, but it wasn't a concern. It's expected. Sometimes when they said, she mentioned a couple of things that could cause that, and so with my answer, she was okay. Then the good news, there was no protein. This is one of the things that could be a sign of worry if there's protein in your urine. But they consider other things as well. It's not that there's protein in your urine and then there's alarm. No, they consider other things. Sometimes it'll be like, it's nothing. But yeah, there was no protein in my urine. It could be a sign of preeclampsia. So no protein in my urine. Weight gain. My weight gain, I think it's good. It's around the same as Isabel. Isabel a little bit bigger at this stage, but not too. I think I've gained 20 pounds so far, I believe. The last time I checked my app, I've gained 20 pounds so far. And what else? that's all. I think that's all how I'm feeling. Now let's go to the package that I received from my midwife. So she gave me certain things that I should prepare or do or sign, consent forms. Oh, did I tell you guys? So we were like signing the consent forms, and then the GBS one came out where they test for group B strip. I hope that's the name. I always mix it up. I never get that thing right. Anyway, and she was like, even if you are positive, we consider other alternative medications or whatever herbs before we think of antibiotics. We don't just jump to antibiotics and we're like, yay, this is why I came here. This is why I chose a midwife. But it's not every midwife that's gonna do that. Some midwives will be like, nope, you test positive. And so it depends on, and I believe there are some OBs who might really, but some people say some OBs will do whatever, but it's rare. So if you find that OB who would consider alternatives before jumping to antibiotics, then good for you. She also gave me this signs of labor. You wouldn't see because of the light. Signs of labor, how to time contractions. She showed me the different stages of labor in case I go. We've been going through this anyway at my appointment, so it's just that now it's in paper form for me to see visually with pictures. It's not gonna show because of the pictures, but I'll take a picture and put it when I'm editing, if I edit. And then she told me what to do when I go into labor. They want to hear me on the phone because they can tell from your voice if it's really something that you should come in, and a whole lot of lists here that I have to do. And then she, of course, we talked about the vaccine. They don't push it, but they have to educate you on it and all that, and then you have to make your choice. There's also the fetal kick count, where she gave me, I'm not really like you have to count, but she shows you what to expect and what to know. But it's more about knowing how your baby moves, when your baby moves, and trusting your instinct when you feel like something is wrong. Call. There is also a handout for breastfeeding, one for me, one for daddy. I hope he reads his. Excuse me. We were supposed to go for a breastfeeding class, and the time that we had someone to take care of Isabel or watch Isabel, they canceled. The other date was yesterday, and we did not feel like going, plus a lot of reasons, so we didn't go to the breastfeeding class. Basically, that's what I want to say. But they gave us handouts that we could read if we want to know more. Breastfeeding is it was the most difficult thing for me when I had Isabel. I ended up I didn't have a problem with breastfeeding supply, but because I was so ignorant, I did things that now made me have a problem with supply. It was just terrible. I was in one of the best hospitals here where I live, and the lactation consultant could not help me. She just wrote me off, and I nearly gave up. It was my sister back home who helped me through. I will never forget that. I was this close of not breastfeeding and just going like, you know what, it's something I'm going to talk about later. So breastfeeding is one of the things that we really, of course, we've learned about what happened, and I don't think I'll have that big issue now. But yeah, it's one of the things that we are not taking lightly. We are really preparing for it. She also gave me this handout, positions for laboring out of bed. You know, when labor sets in, how to, maneuver around, things to do. And this is for both partners. Like this is for you and your partner, whether it's your mom or your husband or whoever is with you, things that they can do to help you. Also, she gave me a leaflet on pushing positions. I like their birth center because it's your birth, your way, whichever way you want to push, whichever way you want to labor, whatever you want to eat. Can you imagine when she said, oh, you should prepare snacks? Could you see my face? Guys, I know I like food, but I don't think I'll eat that much during labor. I didn't with Isabel. I told myself, even though the doctor told me no food, I prepared food that I took that I was going to snack on. But trust me, when the real thing started, I did not eat. I ate before, but I didn't when the real thing started, so it will be the same. She also gave me information about placenta and what I want to do with it, whether I want to eat it, whether I want to bank it, whether I want to plant it. She gave me information on it and information from the Texas Health Department on, you know, things that could go wrong, like maybe infections and all that, blood, all those things. So there's also one for placenta. And then she gave me this one is on factors which affect the experience of pain in labor. So we expect pain, but there are things that can make it more worse. So this is, she gave me that as well. I'll talk about them in detail later. I'm just going through all the things she gave me. So there's information about newborn care. And this is the one for the GBS test, the Group B test. And the rest are consent forms that I signed and I gave them back to her. This is the breastfeeding one for Chris. And then there's the parents worksheet for child's birth certificate, where you put the child's name and all the information you have, if you have them, so that on that day you don't have to do a lot of work. I think I've talked enough and I'm going to end this video. There's more stuff that she gave me, the newborn screening and all that, but this video is becoming too long. I don't think anybody wants to sit 20 minutes watching me or whatever. So that's it. And thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on my next, what do I mean by see you all? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Bye.